booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today I'm doing yet another hashtag Browse My Bookshelf episode. This one is episode 6, and I'm so excited to be doing this video because it's going to be my last hashtag Browse My Bookshelf episode for a while, this being due to the fact that I'm actually away at college right now, and so I thought I might as well pre-film a few for you guys because I know a lot of you really enjoy these. So for the time being, this is going to be one of the last Browse My Bookshelf episodes. Hopefully I'll be able to go back home and do a few others of these soon. I definitely have a wide array of books that I'm going to be talking about today, so let's go ahead and get into them. The first one that I have to talk about today is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, and this was actually a required reading for my AP English class. So of course I read it in that class, and then not too long ago I decided to go ahead and pick up my own version of it. Plus I love this cover because I think it's just so creepy and it definitely symbolizes what this story is about. This book is a dystopia, and it's definitely one of the first dystopias. It's about a world in which we are completely controlled by the government. They give every citizen a pill each and every day, and that pill is definitely a drug that's kind of like a hallucinogenic, but it just gives you happy side effects. And also the people are kind of controlled by their desires and their lust. So there are definitely quite a few different sexual things in this book, and these people are actually genetically modified and made in factories. It's a very creepy and surreal world, and I would definitely recommend that you read this. I remember reading this and also having a group discussion with my classmates, and it's just very interesting to discuss all of the different things in this book. I think that this is a great discussion book, especially for like a book club, and I read this one in March of 2014. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I completely love this book. I love the way that this world is structured, and you really can't tell the difference between the utopian facets and the dystopian facets because it is just a perfectly made world. And it's definitely a world that could become a possibility in our society. Overall, I just love this book, and I would definitely recommend it to pretty much everyone. But I would definitely wait until you're like in high school, because otherwise you definitely wouldn't really enjoy or appreciate the different facets of this book, but I would definitely recommend it. Next we have Cabin Fever, which is the 6th book in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series by Jeff Kinney. I picked this book up because I pick every single book up in this series. I just really enjoy these books. I think they're hilarious. I don't think it matters that it's a middle grade series. If it's good, it's good. This specific one is about Greg, and he's trapped over the holidays with his family because there is a blizzard, and so he's literally snowed in and he can't go anywhere. So as you can imagine, hilarity ensues, especially since Greg has to deal with his 2 brothers. I read this book in November of 2013, and I remember reading this in another Diary of a Wimpy Kid that night. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. It's not my favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, but I definitely really enjoy it, and of course I find these books so hilarious and heartwarming. The next book I read such a long time ago, and that book is Cali for President by Robin Wasserman. Honestly, I don't even really remember reading this one at this point. I'm pretty sure I picked it up because it was at one of those Scholastic book fairs. I loved going to Scholastic book fairs as a child, and so I definitely picked up a lot of books at them. This book is about a girl who is in middle school and she's running for student council president, and I think it's just about her trials and tribulations within that. Honestly, I don't really remember when I read it. I'm sure it was sometime during middle school, so really I don't have very many memories at all with this book. On Goodreads, I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars, but of course I read this book much earlier than when I rated it, but I do really remember enjoying the Candy Apple books. They were always just so cute and really easy reads, so I would definitely recommend Candy Apple books if you have like a little sister or a cousin or like a niece or nephew. These books are definitely perfect for that age range. Next up, we have a book that a few of you might have heard of, and that book is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. I've actually read this book twice, and I've loved it so much each and every time. I remember whenever I heard the synopsis of the Hunger Games, I thought it sounded really interesting but also really weird. Then I finally decided to pick this series up, and of course I purchased this one because I had read the Hunger Games. I'm sure you guys all know what this series is about. It's just such an interesting dystopian world, and if you have not read the series but you've seen the movies, definitely read these books. I'm pretty sure that I read these books in like 2012 and also 2013, something like that, but I love them so much, and a lot of my memories with these books are also associated with the movies. This is probably my least favorite book of the trilogy, but so far it has been like my favorite movie, and it's definitely the best book to movie adaptation I've ever seen. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I just love this trilogy. I think it was actually the first dystopian trilogy I had ever read, and it's just so well thought out and there's so much character development. Honestly, I'd recommend these books to everyone, but I'm pretty sure that almost everyone has already read them. And the final book that I have for this Browse My Bookshelf episode is actually a childhood classic, and that book of course is Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. I'm pretty sure that I had to read this book for a class, and I just picked it up later since I really enjoyed reading it. For those of you who do not know, this book is basically about a pig and a spider, and pigs are usually used for like their meat and their skin. And so this spider named Charlotte decides to save the pig named Wilbur, and she starts weaving words above his pen. That sounds like a really weird synopsis, but it definitely didn't seem as weird whenever I actually read it. I'm sure that I read this book quite early on in elementary school, and I don't have any exact memories about reading it. On Goodreads, I actually had this one marked as 3 stars. It's probably better than that, and I should probably raise it up to 4 stars. Again, I read this book so long ago, I really can't remember anything about it. I could probably finish this book in about an hour though if I read it now, so maybe I should give this one a reread. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you're enjoying my Browse My Bookshelf episodes. If you are, definitely tell me down below, and also tell me your thoughts on these books if you have read any of them. Now I'm gonna go get back to reading.